Okay, well, I want to mix it up a little bit and share a little bit of a story and get you guys' thoughts because I know you have a relatable story. But I was in the airport recently, flying to Virginia to see my buddy Chuck here. And first of all, I rolled in with like a backpack, two suitcases. One is a carry-on, so one's smaller, and a golf bag. So, I mean, I'm decked out walking in. And I didn't realize I get there at like, 4:30 a.m. And
Can we? Okay. What time's your flight?
It was at like 6.
I hope you missed your flight. I hope that's where the story's going.
I felt like I was going to because I checked my bag and they take the suitcase, but the golf bag, they're like, you got to take that and check it in at the, oversized bags.
Classic Atlanta. What's up with that?
And I was like, all right, I mean, you got to give it to those guys at that special door. There's a line. And he's like, they should be open in about, 10 minutes. And I'm like, open? They're not. There's no one over there taking my bag right now? We was wrong. It was like 4:20 and he was saying 4:30, but they didn't really open until 5, or there wasn't somebody working over there till 5. And I'm thinking, wait though, time out. What happens if I have a flight at 5?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And I have an oversized bag. Who's taking it? Am I going to miss my flight because, there's nobody over there to take my bag yet?
Can I just say, it's a good thing I don't have on my heart monitor because I'm getting stressed out for you now. Just thinking about.
Oh, it has to be. I would just like to say here in this moment, the level of stress that both of you are feeling over this feels like it's also tied to the fact that neither one of you wanted to party on a Tuesday.
Well, to be fair,
yes, yeah,
I gotta get up.
Definitely for me. I don't know about for Scott.
I'm in the airport with the same energy.
Why?
I'm not partying on Tuesday.
Here's the thing: I was not stressed because I thought it doesn't matter. I just don't want to sit here leaned up against the wall. Like I want to go sit at the gate. That's what was annoying me. I had no thoughts that I would miss my flight at all.
But wait, you haven't gotten through TSA yet.
Right. But
you've got to be stressed out about that.
Nah.
It always goes faster than you think it's going to.
It does, but also there was no one over there. I mean, and I don't know how you predict who, but it was like I don't know. It was a Wednesday morning at the crack of dawn, and I don't know. I was just confident. I'll go around the corner and see the line and it'll be empty and I'll fly right through TSA, which I didn't, by the way, because when I got there, he pulls my bag to the side, my carry-on, and he's like, we need to do a little investigation. It was because I had all this podcast equipment. So I had the microphone and the headphones and a bunch of cables. So it was fine. It checked out. He opened it. Okay, done, whatever. He admired my Cody Rhodes jacket.
Okay.
Shout out Cody Rhodes.
Sweet flex.
And he zips it back up, and then he picks up a different bag. He just kind of slid it to the side, and he picks up a different bag, and he's trying to figure out whose it is. He's like, this is oversized. I'm taking the oversized. If nobody's going to claim it, because it's got to go over there. And he walks away. And I'm like, wait. Can I grab that? It's like right near the edge of the table, but he didn't tell me, are you good? So I don't know if I can take it. He's gone. I don't want to stand here and just wait. But also all these people are looking at me like, what are you going to do? Like, we'll tell on you if you grab that bag. He didn't tell you to grab it. We'll tell.
People are the worst.
I just didn't know what. Eventually he came back and he's like, take your bag off. And I'm like, don't say it like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Don't say it like that.
Oh.
Because any other time you would have grabbed it, alarms,
right?
Lights are flashing.
You.
Yep. Yes, you would have been on the ground in handcuffs.
Get him.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I want to back up, though. The point of telling you about the oversized bag was not to say that they weren't open, which I felt was very interesting, but it was because that they weren't open that I was standing there with this one other dude who didn't even look. He had an oversized bag. Doesn't matter. And as I'm standing there, they didn't open it at 4:30. So I'm like, all right, now we're going to wait 30 more minutes. I thought, I guess I haven't really looked at my bag. I should probably check, to make sure there's nothing in it. But I thought it's a golf bag. I mean, it's going to be the usual, tees, golf balls, glove. And then I remember the last time we played golf, it was the three of us. And we had cigars. And so I had 2 lighters in there, one of which was a butane torch.
Oh.
Yep. That's actually what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what do I do? Can I take these?
In a check bag, Oh, sorry, I might be.
You would think, right? So they told me.
They don't care.
Online, which again, online is so like one website will say, no, you're good. The other won't. Like, no, you can't have that. It said the Zippo lighter is good if it's empty, which I was confident it was because of the fact that it had just been sitting for a while and I hadn't used it. Like I couldn't.
Okay. Yeah. Lighter. All right.
But I also thought like, I mean, it is empty, but are they going to sit here and dig through my bag? Like to try and prove that it's empty?
Yeah.
And then the other one,
what would they do to prove it? Just stand there and, all right, if we get 10 strikes and it doesn't light, it's empty.
Oh, you can open it.
No, that was a little flicker.
Start over. Start over.
Look inside.
No, I know, but I thought even if it's empty, are they going to have to go through and confirm it's empty? Because that's the whole process. And then they're digging through my bag.
Now you're really going to miss your flight.
Well, not even that, because they'll do it.
I'm still stressed about that.
I know.
Go ahead.
I'm just thinking like they're not gentle. No, we're going to crack this thing open. So then the torch was like a no-go. And I thought this kind of sucks because it's nice and it had a little, plastic extension that would cut. It was a cigar cutter connected to it.
Oh.
And I thought, man, I really don't want to get rid of this, but there's nothing else I can do.
Right.
Yeah, there's nowhere to put it.
So I took both of them. I sat there for a minute and contemplated what to do because I thought, is there any way, I could just take it in my bag and the guy would be like, whatever, But I was like, no, I can't. I have to throw them away. And then I looked so conspicuous taking these 2 lighters over to the trash can and just dumping them in. But the trash can is one of those where you have to wave in front of it to get it to open. And it wouldn't. So I'm sitting there doing this, like looking around. Is anybody watching me? I'm dropping lighters in here. Is that going to be a problem? Is there going to be a camera later that's like, who put these lighters in here? Is this guy?
Yeah.
This is a classic example of it's only as weird as you make it.
It definitely is. And then I thought, I'm stupid. What am I thinking? Like, obviously, it's the trash. They're not going to dig through it. And then I was just annoyed that I brought it and lost 2 lighters.
Yeah, that does suck. You didn't ask at all?
But no, I didn't, because there was no one there yet. The guys, and I knew once he got there.
Yeah, I need resolution on that.
Once the guy got there.
There are 5 o'clock flights. I mean, is that a real?
Yeah, I would think.
Maybe that's the
Fly
only.
all through the night.
But do they?
I don't know, I guess. Can you
anyway, though,
Googling?
Yeah,
pull up a flight out of Atlanta at 5 a.m.
Or like just operating. No, you don't get like a 3 a.m. flight. Like
go to somewhere.
Yeah, I was like, that's a red eye.
Go to somewhere like,
I might be landing at 3. No.
Go somewhere popular.
Otherwise, how are you checking your bag? I mean, your golf bag.
You're not, I guess.
But it's interesting you say that because last time I was there, when I left, I had my golf bag.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what you're saying. She's like, okay, I've got this check, but you got to take it over there. And she showed me where it was.
And you were immediately like confused.
Do I have time to do that? What's going on?
Where? I don't know where it is.
No. Yeah. What are we doing? What? But I was thinking, wait a minute. I flew in from little old Norfolk. They took my golf bag right here.
Because they're like, we don't have people for that.
So here we go. As the busiest airport in the world, Hartsfield-Jackson shuttles people and goods across the nation and around the globe 24 hours a day, 365 days per year.
Yeah, if I'm flying out at 3 a.m. and I get there at midnight and there's no one there to take my golf bag, what happens? Are they like, well, we get you on the next one?
No, surely they would take them up. Maybe the person checking you in was like,
it's close
this dude's
enough.
got time.
The whole time, though, I was thinking, I don't know what would happen here. But regardless, it was. And I knew the guy, once he got there, he'd be thinking like, I'm just getting here. Y'all already in line. Like, just let me do my job.
For it, so he knows.
But he's still going to be thinking that. And I thought, I'm not going to be asking questions. I'm going to want to get on with it.
No, I think if you work at Hartsfield, it's 24/7.
I didn't trust that guy would.
I've had to throw away a little wire twister thing that was in my bag one time, but that was the least. That one was in my bag, like my carry-on, which I've quit doing, by the way. I know it's like, oh, no more carry-ons. I'm checking from now on. I don't think I'm ever gonna do a carry-on on the plane again. it's just so nice to be able to walk on there with nothing but like my backpack. But anyway, I had it in my carry-on, and I don't know if you know what a wire twister is, but old school, whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like a little screwdriver, really. I forgot it was in my bag. This dude starts rifling through my bag. This was, I don't know what year it was. I don't know if it was pre or post
It was
9/11.
recent. I feel like I remember you telling
No,
me.
that's a different one.
Oh.
And he's like, "Have you got something in your bag?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I go to grab my bag. He hadn't unzipped it yet. And I thought he was saying, "Hey,
Show
what's
me
in
what
your
you
bag?
got.
Show me." So I go to grab the bag. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, you asked me. No, don't touch it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I have in this bag that I don't know about? And
It's
he
got to be post
starts
9/11.
pulling everything out. Yeah, I guess it had to be. And he pulls that thing out. He's like, what is this? And it wasn't even loose in there. It was in a jacket, in a pocket, in there. I mean, I know they x-ray it. He's like, what is this? I was like, I couldn't even explain to you what it is. I wasn't being like offensive. I'm like, how do I explain? It's not a screwdriver. It's a little tool I use for work. He's like, you can't have
IT
this.
guy.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't care. Throw it away. He's like, yeah, we're going to throw it away. I'm like,
Sir.
why are you giving me what? So he threw it away. But another time, I had a full blown like flip out knife. I don't know if that's what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I am.
It was in
But
my bag.
There was something else in there too, right? That wasn't the only thing.
You riding dirty?
So he
No.
pulls out the knife, and you're thinking, "What? How? I didn't."
Yeah, I had no clue, and I had to throw that away.
And then he pulls out like a whole can of like, I don't know, it was like shaving cream or something, or
hair gel.
yeah,
That's right. One of the big ones too.
yeah. And he's probably
One of
thinking
the
like,
big ones.
"Dude,
Did you even try?
right? You obviously just rolled up,
Right.
Like,
It sits down.
That's a lot of hair gel.
I say sit. It's a ton. It was one of I don't remember. I had bought it one day. Aaron was on this kick about non-toxic stuff, and I'm like, well, I gotta have a little something in my hair. I'm gonna just put this in my bag. And yeah, completely forgot it was in there. He pulls that thing.
We're riding dirty. You
Which
were
is funny.
stashing
I
toxic
was.
products.
you think you say you forgot it was in there, as if you didn't, knowing the stressed out person you are.
I know. I
Check
went
your
through the
bag.
bag. That's why I was so surprised. Because
You missed a knife and a hair gel bottle. You would never make it as a TSA agent. You'd glance through. Oh no, that's good.
Good.
Meanwhile, there's a
Next.
gun. No, he's good. He's good. I think I saw that was
he
like
pulled
a
that thing
lighter or
out. I
something.
started laughing. I'm like, oh, yes, I know I can't have that much liquids. You can throw that away.
You get the
R.I.P. to the hair
He's
gel.
like, all right, well, let's keep going because surely there's something else. This dude has never been to the airport.
But I was just so surprised because I had been through the bag
Oh, well.
and just didn't see it. It was like hidden over to the side, standing up.
I remember hearing about it because
saw it.
you were coming here, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And you were telling me about it. And I'm thinking, like, I'm embarrassed. You went through your
That
bag.
had been in there for a while. I'd never even cracked that thing open.
It was brand new?
Yeah. I mean, it was probably a year old, but it was not opened.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
brutal.
Wow.
That's
That's-
brutal.
Yeah, all that hair product down the drain.
Shauna, you've never had issues with TSA?
You know, it's funny. My TSA story feels like one maybe y'all don't even want to know because
She was walking through with a cigarette hidden in her hand.
Wow.
no,
Yeah.
see, this
Yep.
is mine is actually so wholesome. It's wild. So both of my kids nursed for years. That's just kind of how we rolled. So when
Oh boy.
I don't
when
know
you-
where it's going.
I'm loving it.
with my oldest, he wouldn't take a bottle. So I had to travel with a cooler full of breast milk. Like,
Grade A.
yep, like you're going
100%.
to a tailgating party, except I was rocking with a cooler. You
A
get
cool.
a cooler.
Oh,
I was going to South Dakota to visit my grandmother. She was going to meet my son for the first time. And so in order to feed him on the plane and do what you do for babies, I had pumped and I had this cooler with like 3 large Tupperwares full. But what's really great about it, and by great, I mean totally embarrassing, is as you're going through what they must do, because I had to research this in order to prepare for my flight.
Obviously not well, but go ahead.
No, I was so prepared. I did everything I was supposed to do. But what I knew was going to happen was they have strips. They have to test the fluid. If you're going to go through TSA with that much liquid, you can if you're feeding a baby, but not before they crack open those containers and dunk their like testing strips in there to make sure that that's actually what you're traveling with.
Couldn't I just drink it to know? Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
Because then I'm not going to give it to the baby.
Sorry. All right. I had to though.
It's like when you taste somebody's drink at a restaurant, you dip the straw in. Just
dip his finger in.
Yeah,
no,
you're good.
It doesn't taste like normal milk. I think she might be all right.
She's probably not lying to us. Y'all, it was such an ordeal. So I'm in line. I mean, it's not like there's any private area that they do this. You have to unzip the cooler. You open up the Tupperwares, and they've got them out on the table, and they put the strips in it to confirm.
But like, did you? So you went in knowing, all right, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, yes.
Did you tell them before they sent it through, hey, you're going to find something, and it's going to look suspicious?
Yeah, does that go through the X-ray machine?
I didn't frame it up cryptically.
Did you tell them
directly
before?
what it was? Yes.
And they were like, it's like some 27-year-old dude.
No, it was
just got a part-time job, and he's like, okay, I don't want
anything but that.
David, can we swap?
Nobody hated it more than me. Because at the time, I'm like, I don't know, 25, 26. I'm a new mom. I'm navigating a lot of things for the first time. Like, he's only 6 months old, my son at the time. And so I'm walking through the airport with this cooler on my shoulder.
Where is he, by the way?
So my aunt traveled with me. I mean, he was in the stroller.
Okay.
And you can check the stroller, at the plane, and they'll put it underneath and blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just how we were rolling.
Man, we never had to consider traveling with.
You wouldn't have to ever think about it unless you
breast
do.
milk. Can I say that?
You can say breast milk, yeah.
Breast milk.
That's
what it is, I guess. You could just say milk. I mean, we know what you're talking about.
No, you gotta.
No, because we talked about milk earlier.
You gotta breast milk.
You gotta
put the breast in it.
Right.
Not the milk. That's where it comes from. You gotta when you talk about it, you have to.
Okay.
Breast milk.
Trust, I'm not embarrassed about it anymore. You do it long enough, and you're like, whatever.
I'm just seeing the picture on some random guy's face, and he said it was a woman, but I'm picturing some young dude that doesn't want to be there. And you're like,
He's not even sure how that works.
3
but he's like,
containers.
Where did this come from?
Of breast milk. Can you just test it? And he's just.
I didn't give them instructions. I assumed they knew what they were doing.
It's how I was picturing in my head.
I was the one that.
I'm picturing it spilling a little bit and getting on the counter. And
you have to understand. No, and that's you can't though.
You also right. You can't do that because they're like, "What's wrong with my milk?"
Right.
No, it's more like it's a lot of freaking work, and so it's like liquid gold. You just don't go sloshing it everywhere. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
I don't know what you mean.
I do.
Well, now you know. It's a big deal. You don't just Anyways,
it's a lot of work. Yeah.
There was a lot of time
pain and suffering
to research and then prepare how to navigate that correctly, and it worked. We ended up where we.
Where were you going?
South Dakota.
South Dakota to see your aunt.
I was with my aunt. We were going to see my grandma. You were
distracted by the breast milk.
I feel like they would just, at that point, I'd be like, no one's going to South Dakota. Just take it. Whatever it is, just go.
Wait a minute.
New York, maybe. South Dakota.
Was it just for the plane?
No, it was for some of the trip, too. Like, it was his.
Why didn't you bring just enough for the plane? We don't need.
I don't. I mean, I don't know how deep you guys want to dive into the
semantics. She just said it was pure gold. She was selling it. Right. She was selling it.
There's other moms in the terminal. No. Hey, listen.
Okay, but sidebar.
Hey,
you want to know
get some
more?
Of that? Can I get some of that white stuff?
There's an entire Facebook page dedicated to women who have children in like in the NICU and in other places, and they're looking for breast milk for their babies. I donated for years because I had so much of it. There was a baby in the NICU that I fed for like 6 months.
We were having so much fun joking about it, and now we can't.
You just took the jokes out of it now.
I'm literally picturing a line of women outside the airport before you go in the doors. Hey, you got
that good.
Well, you got that good stuff.
$20 a pop.
Yeah.
$20. That's steep.
You can absolutely sell it. You can absolutely sell it.
It's $20. If I say it's 20, it's 20. Just all right.
I almost didn't tell that story, but I feel like there's an educational piece to it.
Yeah, I've never thought about having to travel with bodily fluids through the airport.
You didn't have to phrase it like
but I mean, technically, it's just one of those things you would never consider until you.
It's very comparable to your golf bag story, Scott.
I'm gonna bring my lighters next time, and he's like, "You can't bring this." I'm like, "If these women can bring coolers of milk,
no, not milk, breast milk."
There's a big difference between you want to light your cigar and I'm sustaining life.
Ooh.
One of us is doing more than the other.
Yeah, one is sacrificing more.
Well, bold of you to assume I'm using it to light a cigar.
I don't care what your life.
It does have a cigar cutter on it, but that's just how it came.
I want to know the numbers on what's the percentage of breast milk tests that happen in the airport that don't get to pass.
Oh,
you'd have to be moving something shady,
right?
The other kind of gold, liquid gold.
If somehow, I mean, listen, if you could pull it off, it's brilliant. To act like, to send your mule. Your mule is this mom with her kid, trying to pretend like.
There's a show. I don't remember what it's called, and I don't even remember where I was watching it. Somewhere obscure, where it was like the only thing on TV. And it's about these airport, TSA agents dealing with people traveling international. And it was like all in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
You familiar? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so there's these Australian agents, and they had a lot of people that would come from China and back and forth. And there's a lot of stuff that they can't, like seeds and food and all this kind of stuff. And I'll admit, it was very interesting to watch the ways that people would attempt to do this stuff. And you see them sitting there like, tearing up the lining of the bag thinking, man, if you're wrong and you just destroy and they're like, no, because look, and they're drilling holes and stuff.
Yeah.
And just getting like little doses. And it's like, yep, check, done. And I'm like, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see the one guy that comes in there with literal bags of seeds. Like that's the only thing in his bag. And they're like, and he barely speaks the language, and they're like, you can't have this.
Yeah.
You can't have it. No, you can't have it. It's no good.
No.
And he's like, what? Come to Australia. No, you can't. Seeds. No. And they're just like completely oblivious. And they take the whole bag. I don't know. It's fascinating. But I guess it would mostly just be international. Mm. Well, that wraps up our hot takes on airports. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll catch you next time on Episodes Unscripted.
Breast milk. Sorry.